Baker is trying hard to put his life and marriage back together, whilst Poncherello investigates a multi-million-dollar heist on Chips later at 8 p.m. But first, it's the Thamesmen.
Ta-da.
Hello, beautiful flick of the hair there.
I know, it's just like,
Put on, pour moi, pour on, George.
What was that advert? That was like some terrible advert, wasn't it?
No, it was some sort of like, some aftershave. It's like, pour moi, pour on.
It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. Stings the nostrils.
Hello, my name is Alex, and I'm in San Francisco.
I'm George. I'm in Los Angeles.
You've reached the home of the Thamesmen, the light reaction, middle-aged kind of waffly-doffly light reaction show. That's a really bad intro.
As we proved, like I was just finishing. Oh, people, hopefully you've seen it by now. High rent, absolutely fantastic, but turned into a complete disaster. Alex crushed his pugs. It was just what was going on yesterday. It was crazy. So.
Well, we're going on about it, but I'm in the middle of a move, so everything is in just chaos at the moment. So that we're not at our usual stations, are we? And everything's a bit weird.
Yeah, we're doing steam-powered internet, so that's why Alex is a bit blurry around the edges. I think
you put another potato in the internet machine. It's potato powered up here.
Potato powered.
The Wheel of Fortune spoke, didn't it?
It did, and we do not deny the word of the Wheel of Fortune.
No,
you would not cross that Wheel of Fortune.
No,
because it's a vicious mistress.
It gave us this.
What is that?
The small faces.
It's small faces. Sorry.
Oh dear! On a game of charades, you'd be dreadful.
I am dreadful at charades. I just know that bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Porn movie. Old
and
porn
a mag.
All you need is a fluffy glove and you're off.
I'll just borrow yours. So yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Hold on, that's a really bad idea. No, okay, sorry.
Anyway, let's swiftly moving on. We know pretty much. Again, this seems to be a common theme, but we know pretty much fuck all about the small faces, don't we?
Yeah. But we have notes.
We do have notes.
We have notes. Our man Chris. Chris. When are you going to forgive him for calling you bald?
I'm not at all. But for those Patreon supporters, I'm actually on Saturday doing the behind the scenes, and we're meeting Chris. We're going to do a focus on Chris and how he chooses our music and everything. So our Patreon fans will actually see Mr. Captain Caveman himself.
The man, the mystery, the myth,
the hair.
All of it in its full glory.
I know, his poor wife. I tell you, Milli Vanilli went missing in the 80s. I think they're in Chris's wig.
It's not a wig, is it? Well, we'll find out. Let's find out on Saturday. Let's find out.
Hey, he's a Velcro nightmare.
He's perfect for blowing up balloons, static on balloons. Anyway,
what do we parties? We can take him anywhere because there's a shortage of helium in the world, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about
that?
No.
Is there really?
Yes. They're talking about, this is absolutely true, they're talking about banning those shite balloons you buy, the helium balloons, because there's a helium shortage in the world. And I'm thinking old hairy Chris could be the answer. He could just go out there and just rub things on himself. And he could,
I don't think that generates helium, though. It just generates static.
Yeah. Which kind of, which is like...
alternative power source.
Exactly. He could be also in really areas of let's say like Ukraine, and they're having a power shortage, they could send him out. Exactly. He can just bob there like that, charge phones and shit, you know. Oh, sorry, Chris. I'm going to get you, Chris, for calling me I've got no hair.
Elon Musk of Marin over there, you know.
If he could only have children, I bet his mother's even hairier. She's like a nuke in a power station all by herself, that woman. You can't get her off the wall. She's stuck on it from static. Sorry. Right.
Are you ready? What are we going to do with notes? We're going to read the notes.
We're going to read the notes. Not that we're ready.
I wasn't ready for the track at all.
No.
Shall I read them?
Yes, please.
Yeah, since I found them now.
You can butcher them.
I'll do my best. So this was going to start with Tin Soldier. Now, was there a song, Tin Soldier? Sorry, just getting to...
I know Tin Soldier by Stiff Little Fingers.
That's it, yeah. Tin Soldier. Yeah. Is that the same song?
No idea. But I love that one by Stiff Little Fingers. There was an album called Hanks, Hanx, that they did as an EP to come into America, and they recorded it at a pub, and it had that track on, and it is brilliant.
Yeah. And I've seen them twice where they toured in the last 10 years in LA, weirdly, and they were absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so good live still.
Yeah. Someone else I know in Berlin who went to see them and said they were absolutely... I mean, sure, the circumference of the audience was a lot bigger, but they were absolutely rocked it still.
Yeah, totally did it. Yeah. Anyway,
God,
maybe we should do it. We should do Stiff Little Fingers.
Stiff Little Finger Week.
No one will come to watch that one.
Yes, they would.
You think so?
Anyone, right, in the whole... Oh, God, we're trying to get there. Out of the punk era, and also when the punk, and it crossed with reggae and stuff. I mean, their first track on the second album, they just wrote really good songs. Those songs you could play on an acoustic guitar, and they're great. They're just really good songwriting.
No, they are really good songs, no question. Just if anyone watches. Okay, anyway, the Small Faces. Today is the Small Faces. And we do Tin Soldier from 1966, Crushed Faces. It says, formed in 1965, the Small Faces were second only to The Who when it came to mod bands, led by the fantastic singing voice of Steve Marriott, who also played guitar, and his songwriting partner, Ronnie Lane, on bass. They had a string of hits in the late 60s. And the newly regarded psychedelic concept album, Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. I believe that was called.
Yeah.
Marriott would leave in 1969 due to differences with Lane, and he would form Humble Pie.
Good band.
Whilst the rest of the band recruited Ronnie on lead guitar and Rod Stewart on vocals, and changed their names simply to The Faces. This song featured P.P. Arnold, a former Ikette, who was their label mate, who had several hits of his own in Britain. Noel Gallagher and Mojo Magazine both list in their all-time top 10 songs.
Fantastic. Now, we've got a double track. So after this one, we are doing a bonus.
Fantastic.
So hang around after this track, and also we'll have the Wheel of Fortune as well.
So much to hang on for. I might even stay here till the end.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Vicar, as he said to the gardener, why don't you count me in?
Okay. Are we ready? Small Faces, Tin Soldier. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Didn't know it featured an Ikette.
That's cool. Liking this already.
To jump into your fire. You are a look in your eye, a dream passing by in the sky. I don't understand, and all I need is treat me like a man, 'cause I ain't no child. Take me like happier than time. Say a love that won't rhyme without words. So now I've lost my way. I need her to show me things the same. Just give me your love before I fade away. I got to know. Singing this song, sing to you. I just want some reaction, someone to give me satisfaction. All I want to do is dance
That was fierce.
That was total retro heaven right there. That was fantastic. But it wasn't Stiff Little Fingers.
No, it wasn't Stiff Little Fingers. But if you, so obviously the mix was really, dated. They packed a lot in on a really, separated mix, right? And there wasn't much. The instruments. If you listen to headphones, the instruments didn't have much room to breathe, did they?
And it was like all his vocals on one side and all the sort of backing vocals on the other. And I'm pretty sure I got my earpieces in the right way around. And I think they had the left and right swapped as well.
But
so, I don't know if that's me being super OCD about stuff. I don't know.
Which is groovy because that was just the age of the mix, right? They just invented stereo.
It was. It was just it's all left, all right, or somewhere in the middle.
Right, and
nothing in
so
between.
that in some way was perfect for their time, right? As you said, it was retro heaven. But now, if you had separated that out and gave it a remix, right, and separated it and gave everything room, that song was totally fierce. That song was totally Oasis all over again. That song was really kind of harking back to the British kind of, that guy, the lead singer, even, Steve Marriott even looked like Liam Gallagher.
Or Liam Gallagher looked like him.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, so it was dated from the mix, right? But if you brought it out and separate, it could have, it could have hit any band even today in the Britpop era.
Yeah, no, and it was just such a style, and it had, it was a great track. I think, I weirdly, I don't know, maybe because I was a rocker, and if they were a mod, I don't know, maybe it was just like I never. And also, it was a bit before my time, of course. So.
Well, that was written in '66, right? And what's really super cool is in '66, a lot of the English bands, a lot of if you came to America, there was still segregation. The Beatles refused to play places where the crowds were segregated.
Okay.
And at that time, the black crowd would have been one area, or they weren't allowed in at all. And England was like, fuck that. Right, the Beatles refused to play segregated audience. The Small Faces, were sharing. I mean, it was. I'm very proud of Britain that era because the music industry really took a stand against segregation and the big money in America and said refused to. And that was great. Seeing that as well. I'm seeing the Ikette up there with them as well. Absolutely great.
She was awesome. She had such style. It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So I like that. So, well, okay. All right. Well, good job. We got a bonus track because means we can get a bit deeper in. Find out some more.
If we had our scoreboard, which is coming up soon. Once we move, we're bringing our scoreboard out. Out of 10, just out of 10, what were you giving that track?
Well, you see, this is where we always get in trouble. Do you remember how much trouble we get into?
It doesn't matter. Music is always a personal choice. And anyone who says, "Oh, don't agree with you," because that's their personal choice, right? It can't be all gods to everyone because otherwise you could write a hit again and again and again.
It'd be very boring, wouldn't it? Yeah. I would say it's an 8.0 for me.
Well, that's high, and I agree with you. I would bang on. I'll back you up on that because for back then in the '60s, that was a fierce track. That was a track really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah. No, I think it stands in good stead. But it absolutely want to hear more. Which we say.
Yeah. And also, if you think about the Faces came from that, right?
That was Rod Stewart, wasn't it?
Agreed.
Yeah, of course,
but that's how good that band were. And then and then old Rod went off and whatever, and then Rod did that great album, every picture has a story or whatever. I mean, yeah, just great musicians came in, Ronnie Wood, and great.
Yeah, it was an era, wasn't it? It was certainly an era.
Yeah, but what a band! It all come from that kind of root system.
Pretty cool.
All right,
okay. So should we do the bonus?
Yes,
Or
let's do the bonus.
and then we'll do Wheel of Fortune after the bonus.
Yes.
Yeah. While we're in the faces mode, let's so what do we got as our bonus?
We got the Small Faces. You Need Loving from the BBC concert audio. I don't have the notes in front of me. I've got the notes. All right. So we all know Led Zeppelin had a habit of borrowing, and the Muddy Waters number, You Need Love, had some of the lyrics used for Whole Load of Love. The Small Faces cover, You Need Loving, came out in '66, had a further lyric changes to suit Marriott's voice. Marriott's voice out was superb, by the way. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
His delivery of those lines came up 3 years before Led Zeppelin wrote Whole Load of Love. Now, interesting notes by Chris there. But I actually think, and I haven't heard it, but I've heard that they've settled out of court on it because actually the guitar riff was a complete rip-off as well.
Of Muddy Waters, you're saying?
I'm not sure. There is a track
saying
out
Muddy
there.
Waters came first, and then Small Faces borrowed from it, and then Whole Lot of Love borrowed as well. Is that what we're saying?
I'm not too sure, but I know he's talking about the lyrics, but I know the actual guitar riff was a complete rip as well at some point, and I don't know if it's that one.
Okay. All right. So this is You Need Loving, and it's a BBC concert of the 1960s audio. That's pretty cool.
That is good.
BBC did some great recordings. They really did. They still do, actually, for that
John
matter.
Peel used to do Secret Garden, and also John Peel did these, like, he would invite all these studios in bands into the studio into his Maida Vale, and they'd always do 4 tracks. And their back catalogue because of John Peel and stuff.
The Peel sessions. I used to buy the vinyl with the Peel sessions, and they had some great stuff. There's a Led Zeppelin Peel session, which I really like because it's really stripped down. It's not super studio. Really good.
I had the vinyl somewhere of that. I lost it. I remember that one. It was good.
Yeah, it's a real.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Small Faces. You Need Loving, BBC concert, 1960s audio only. Okay, 3, 2, 1, boom.
And suddenly it's finale time. This is where we hear one more number from each of our guests on today's show. And first, the Small Faces, who say, You Need Love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I want to tell you that I ain't fooling.
Oh, my God.
You need cooling.
No way.
I'm gonna send you right back to schooling.
Oh, Clark, you little git.
I'm even way down inside you. In your heart,
That's crazy.
you need loving. Yeah, loving. All right. I know you need loving, baby. Yeah, all right.
that's so
way. That is absolutely cool.
That is bizarrely a whole lot of love, isn't it? It is brilliant. Everything that track needs to be a 9-minute live version. I wonder if such a thing exists.
With maybe with Plant and what about Page on the guitar as well? That would be
well. Steve Marriott's doing a bloody good job there. I don't think you need it.
Marriott did an amazing job.
Yeah, so I loved that track. Actually, it had everything, and the organ it was a bit. There was bits of everything in it. It wasn't very coherent as a whole track, but I loved it.
I want to go back and listen to the whole BBC sessions of that.
Oh, that must have been a hell of a session, that BBC session.
Chris, thank you so much for picking that one out, my man.
That is the definition of bonus. That one, that is the absolute bonus right there. You know,
capital B with a bonus. All right,
capital B with a bonus.
I think it is time to pick our next track on the Wheel of
Fortune. Oh, there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, our electronics selector.
Highly digital?
Totally digital. GPT
spin it with
chat.
Your digits.
It's got GPT chat on it.
Oh, it's lost its little label in the middle. When you crush the pugs, did it fall off?
It fell off with the pugs. When I crushed the pugs, go and see the last video. But so this is AI-driven electronic selector with a Twitter interface.
Okay, all right. So, what do we got? Give us an example of what we might find on our wheel.
We can't see that because that's inside, but that's Ren. There's George's Gem. There's Queen. There's Lineskid. There's
small faces.
Small faces. If we get that, we'll spin again. Off and back. All right, let's just roll it, shall we?
Okay, are you ready, Jim? Yeah. Okay, Jim's ready. Yes, let's hit it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, boom. Beck and Bogart.
Beck and Bogart.
What the hell is Beck and Bogart? Okay, here we go. Electronic. Ready? Right. Watch out, pugs.
Don't be breaking our high value asset. We spent all our money on that.
Okay.
Good job, sister.
Very good job. You. That's it. It's quality like this that makes people come back for more. You know that.
Well, they probably haven't got to this stage, really, have they?
No.
All those people, all of you people who jump out early, you might miss out on quality entertainment.
Right. Remember, people, we're doing a competition. It doesn't matter what level you're at on Patreon, where we're going to put an extra content. That if you get, we're doing one at the end of June. We're picking one of our patrons randomly to take God tier, which means
for a whole year. Did we say 6 months? 6 months.
Which means for 6 months you pick one track for us to do every month. Your choice.
See, that's a really dodgy thing to offer. But anyway.
That is a dodgy thing to offer, isn't it?
We should have a little star asterisk like it, on approval.
No, there's a lot of people and they want their, it's just like, this is their chance, this is their stage. I will honour it unless it's the Wiggles. Then I'll have a huff and storm out.
What if it's like Mason Jennings?
Oh, fuck off. You're still pushing that elephant up the hill.
Judy Collins.
You like Judy Collins because your mum likes it and you have long hair like your mum.
Yeah, well, exactly. Why? What's wrong with that?
Oh, you love your mum.
Oh, who does not? Exactly. So, yeah. Anyway.
Who doesn't love your mum?
She's lovely. So.
not in a
Let's move on before you get yourself into any sort of trouble because yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll send this video to him. All right. So we're going to do, what did we say? We're going to do Bogart and
Beck and Bogart.
Beck. Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. I can't wait to see what it is. So.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'll see you on the flip side.
See you on the flip side.